Yeah,
I got it from Grangemouth.
that's great.
I'll be able to grab the microphone. Sure.
I can go after if you want to listen to the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let it go for like a minute and I'll wind it down. There, pre-show banter and all that. If people are really into it, they can start listening to this.
Try and get some just like intro type speakers. Hi! Hello!
Hello and welcome to the Girthcast. I'm not sure if I actually named it that yet, but
Also the Doctor Who part might be called something different.
I mean, I'm trying to work Girth and Doctor Who together, but I've not come up with anything funny yet.
Yeah.
So-
the best thing that my mind comes to is like Doctor Girth, but that wouldn't work.
Doctor
very well.
Girth.
I don't
Well, it's
think
Doctor
that-
Girth, but like that's like a whole other thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's a completely different character.
I don't think that really works, like it doesn't scream Doctor Who in my head.
it doesn't. It screams Doctor Girth,
It does.
which sounds like a great time.
I mean, you
but,
could go for
I
like
mean, yeah.
Doctor Who and the Curse of the Girth Monster or something like that.
Well, it's not the
It
deadly
doesn't really
curse
roll off
of.
the tongue, you want like a...
You want something witty and punchy and
So,
something
like an
hashtagable.
Like an
Yeah,
actual
exactly.
Doctor Who episode title.
Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably stuff to be done, but we're live now,
We
This is
are.
so
episode 0 anyway, hi, so it doesn't have to be, we don't have to
this
work
is
out
episode
what
0 pre-name.
Pre-name.
Post?
Pre-name.
No, it's not post. It's pre.
And you're listening now and you'll be like on the cusp of a wave.
On the cusp. Yeah, we're about to start something, aren't we? We're about
Yeah.
to change the opinion of a nation.
Change the game.
I mean, like, is that getting too full of ourselves thinking we're going to do that?
No, this
No.
is it.
Is it
It's not going to be the multi-million-pound show that they're about to put out next week. It's going to be us three in this room chatting pish about Bradley Walsh.
I mean, that is a good time.
With our sub Casio keyboard.
It is. This is a HS-3270A keyboard
You can tell we're professional.
that I picked up, and if you were listening to the intro there, you would have heard its sweet sounds of this machine that I picked up in Grangemouth for £1.50. The charity shop did not take a card, so I had to go and get some change.
Charity shops are good like that.
They are, especially the ones in Grangemouth. It was lovely. I've used it twice now, tonight and then the other night when I did the stream when I had the funny idea that I could use this.
Do you think the technology in that keyboard is better than what they made the original Doctor Who soundtrack
Probably, but like,
Normally I'd say absolutely yes, but I have no idea how old or cheap this thing originally was.
I mean, it could. I don't know. It looks like vaguely like it could have been like 90s era.
I'd say the keys are too white for that to be the case.
I don't think it's
Probably.
ever been used. I think it's
It
been like a
looks-
gift that
it
someone
does.
did not want.
It does look like something I would have seen in like Argos on the shelves when I was like a wee boy. So like,
All keyboards remind me of the 1980s anyway.
I mean that's a good time to be fair.
All keyboards remind me of music class.
Oh, like I never, and one of the reasons I bought this is I never actually learned to play Jingle
Oh
Bells.
no.
Oh, that,
In
that
high
was, that
school.
was the one thing everybody could play because
I
it
was
was
just
on the
sitting
first
there-
day of music.
I was just sitting there going,
That's the first bit of it.
that's all I could do. Like I can only do it with
I
one.
need to find the E wherever
Right,
that
find
is.
the E. found the E.
No.
It's not meant to be Doctor Who.
Well, you always do a preamble before you get into the meat of your subject. It lets the people get to know you.
We
you
should
know?
get some like sponsors and just interrupt halfway through with them.
Well, I started a Patreon, so
Yeah, actually.
I have
I think
actually.
that's it there.
Right,
This
so
is
we've
the
found the E, everyone.
Oh. Smashing.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Hey!
Woo!
Welcome to our Doctor Who.
Merry Christmas to Doctor Who in October.
Merry Christmases.
But
Yeah.
it'll be Christmas when this series is finished.
Well,
So,
was there not talk? I suppose we should talk about this later. But was there not talk of them doing a Christmas special that was
I
like
think they're.
Dalek based?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know
they
if
do need to
the
do, like-
Christmas special is the finale.
'Cause
I
it's
think
starting
it
in
might
October.
be- It's 10 episodes and it starts in October. So I
So-
think the finale will be like Christmas.
That's cool. I like that. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like we should probably that when we get into
Yeah,
that. That's
so-
that's a whole other
This is
kettle of
episode
fish.
0. Obviously, Doctor Who is rebooting next Sunday.
Well, no, you can't say that. It'll anger people if you say it's rebooting because they'll be like, ah, no, actually,
Semi-reboot.
it's a continuation.
Yeah.
But like, for all intents and purposes,
in terms of
it's
their
been away for
like,
ages.
outward facing face to the audience.
yeah,
they're
to the
rebooting.
common man.
New Doctor, new logo, new composer.
New composer's a big one
New
after like
writer.
11 years.
Yeah. We
No,
don't
no
even
more of that.
know what
No
the
more of that
soundtrack's
magnificent
gonna be.
Murray Gold.
Murray Gold and his overbearing, loud music.
Like-
Use of violins and theme.
No, I suppose, yeah. Aye, so this is episode 0. We'll find out a name to call it. We should probably have thought about that, so it could be this is episode 0 of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever, this is episode 0. I'm Craig, girthy Craig. You'll know all about me because you've been here, of course, listening to my rambles about Transformers. The man sitting next to me is Shanks.
Yep.
That's his literal name. It's on his birth certificate.
It actually
Look it
is.
up if you have, like, you know.
Yeah, if you've
got access to people's
look at-
birth certificates.
Yeah.
birth certificates. If you're that FBI person or like that MI5 person that can just do that,
The
go
overlapping,
ahead.
like,
That'll be
demographic
true.
of FBI people to Doctor Who fans. Like, 1-to-1 there. So
Is
yeah,
it-
Dank Manster Shanks is sitting next to me.
What?
I just like calling it variations of Shanks.
You
Or
do.
Shoogly Boogly, as
I
you're
mean,
known on Twitter.
I mean that is. my
You should
Twitter
be all
handle.
over this. You should be like, aye, follow me on Twitter where I'm Shoogly at Boogly.
I mean
Or...
that's what they do at the end of a podcast.
Aye, that's true. And over
I'm
here,
just David. I don't really have
I'm
a
just
nickname.
David.
Just
Hi, just David.
Well, just David.
You've been on the show before, haven't
I
you?
know I was on last weekend.
Last
twice.
Sunday as well.
Yeah.
You were. We had a huge, massive rager of a podcast,
did.
didn't we? Where we just talked about everything and anything, and
Yeah.
then
We
went to a
the
service station.
Oddly enough, I too was in a service station last Sunday. But
Wow.
it's a completely different story, which
I
I'll tell
think
you later.
we'll have to talk about that later if we get to off topic. If we survive the Doctor Who stuff.
I mean, we
Because
might
you
do
were on
that.
tour, weren't you?
I was on tour.
Well, you were a wrestler and you were on tour.
Well, no, I'm a trainee wrestler and I was on tour with wrestlers. Yes.
Right, so we'll get to that. But first off, Doctor Who's coming back. We all love Doctor Who to varying degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do the thing where, like, I've followed Doctor Who since I was 7 and I watched it on the UK Gold Omnibus format on a Sunday
You did?
where my dad would tape it for me. I believe I started somewhere at the end of Pertwee and went into, like, mid-Davidson, and then I'd watch Doctor Who on, like, they'd do evenings where it was like the 30th anniversary and the 40th anniversary and the 43rd anniversary, so we'll put like Genesis of the Daleks on.
That's the big one, isn't it?
And then it came back for New Who and I've been there ever since. And I missed some Capaldi. I think we all missed some Capaldi.
We all have.
I mean, we were all
There's no one on
entitled
the
to-
planet who.
There's probably like a Doctor Who editor out there,
No,
with, like
there's
magazine
probably
that saw it all.
There's probably them YouTubers who are like them like super Who lot people who are like, oh, make the fandom. And
But I
they've
feel like
seen
even the
all of it.
fandom, I feel like even the super fandom out there probably missed a couple episodes of Capaldi
I
here
mean,
and
that,
there.
that to be
Like,
fair is
also,
warranted.
it would have coincided with the year where no one watched television on TV.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're gonna like even the people who loved it would have been like.
That is the shame about Capaldi because he was still
Yeah.
doing the same work that everybody else was doing. It's just that everybody decided to stop watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it, like, you know, they still watch TV. It's just on Netflix
On Netflix.
at their own
Yeah.
pace.
Aye.
So I started watching Doctor Who when it came back in 2005. I don't think I like watched like I think the first episode that I saw was like maybe Father's Day. Like,
Really,
yeah.
that's a good episode
Yeah,
to kick
and
in.
then I went back and watched the
Was that the first episode you ever saw? Did you ever see any like classic Who before that?
Like
or
I've seen bits of it.
did you
but
see
no.
Spearhead from Space at any
No,
point?
I hadn't.
I feel like everyone has. I feel like that's a universal British thing.
I mean,
that-
I've seen it since, but
Aye.
I couldn't recall if I'd seen it before.
Uh-huh. And you've been there. You've been here ever since until probably like Capaldi, or did you
Yeah,
check out
I
under
wa-
Matt
I-
Smith?
I
Or
watched the first Capaldi. I watched like some of the first Capaldi series, and then
that first
I
episode of
didn't-
Capaldi is not a good
I didn't
jumping on
dislike
point.
it. I just checked out for
You
whatever
just
reason. Like, I
drift
kept-
away from it, don't you?
I started working on Saturday nights, which didn't help. but
That is a bit of a well. See now how it's on a Sunday, like
Yeah.
but and
We'll talk about.
We'll talk about that.
something.
Shanks, tell us your Doctor Who history. What's your?
Well, I'm firmly new Who. Like I was.
You are a young man, aren't you?
I'm a tenant, Wayne.
You're of age, but
Uh,
you're a young man.
Yeah, compared to you two, maybe.
We are older, long beards, as we
yeah.
might say.
Yeah, well, I'm.
You were a child when Tennant Who.
I was.
Well, how
no,
old-
that's why I
Like,
said
we
I
were,
was
we, were
a tenant.
Without-
we were teenagers.
Without compromising yourself, Shanks, how old were you in 2005?
7.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh
no.
my god.
Jesus.
No, because it wasn't. I didn't see much of Christopher Eccleston until I got the DVDs for
Did
it.
you get the individual DVDs, the like 3 episodes to a
Aye,
DVD?
aye,
yeah,
that's
those are
kinda-
great.
That was a
yeah.
vibe
But at
when
the
we
same
did
time,
that.
though, it was like my kind of the first episode I remember seeing like on like when it was on like a Saturday night
Uh huh.
was you know that this like Tennant's second episode where it's like New York.
Oh, that's yeah.
And
I
it's
always
like-
think of that as his first episode for some reason.
Because it's like it's after
First
the-
episode of the season, but
This is
Aye,
the first
and
like,
it's like-
proper episode.
Yeah.
if that makes
and I
sense.
mind like vaguely being a wee bit scared when all the like mad like pox people came
the
about.
Fox people are a bit of an odd tone for that episode because it's so light and so fluffy and has so many cat people in it that when the disease zombies rock up,
Yeah,
it,
and I was
it-
like,
it somehow it doesn't make it good, but like
That episode is in the top percentile of bad New Who episodes.
you say that.
Without compared the worst series opener they have ever done.
I think it really works as a season opener though.
It's
'cause
very
it
bad
to
though.
be fair though, it's like it does kind of give you a like looking at it now. It does kind of give you a good jumping on point from this is a new Doctor because like Eccleston's Doctor in that position would have just been like, you know what, I am the Doctor. All these bloody diseased people can go and sook. I'm off basically.
The thing is, I feel like you want like an iconic first story, like Pertwee had Spearhead from Space.
Spearhead
Matt
from
Smith-
Space.
Matt Smith had the 11th hour. Like
Now,
proper
I
bangers.
am an extremist when it comes to Matt Smith, or at least I was, and I have grown to love the 11th hour. But at the time, I didn't like the 11th hour. I thought it was a bad opener.
No, like
For Moffat in
even if you
particular.
have things about, but
But like I say-
the scale of it, like
Oh, aye,
in
the
terms
scale of
like,
it's
fitting
great.
into their character.
Mm.
Like
No, like-
Tennant didn't really have that.
I was an angry young man when the 11th hour happened, and I've grown to appreciate a lot about it, especially the village setting. It just reminds me of Hot Fuzz a lot, and I feel like that's a good thing for anything to do.
Like to me, like Spearhead's like the quintessential first episode of
Mm.
the Doctor.
Yep, because I've watched all of Doctor Who recently. I watched Twitch.
Oh, that
Yeah.
Twitch
So I've
stream
seen a
though.
lot of first
London,
episodes of
1965.
London 19. If we say that a lot, then this stream will go massive.
We'll put it in the episode title.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Well, can we make it the 1965 cast, or we'll work it out?
I mean, maybe like that'd be
Yes.
interesting.
I've watched a lot of first episodes of Doctors recently. A lot of the first episodes of Doctors aren't great at all.
Yeah.
Like, see Tom
Yeah.
Baker, the Doctor of all Doctors. Robot is not a great episode.
It's
It's
like,
very much a Pertwee episode that they just made.
But at the same time, though, the bits where like Tom Baker is being Tom Baker, it's quite good. Where he's like, it's like, oh, I'm the Doctor. Yes, but are you the Doctor? It's like what?
That's a great line.
That-
That's
that's
probably
quite
like
good.
the one great thing from it. I feel like there's another Brigadier moment where like he has a good line or two. But
To be
like
fair,
as
just
an
like,
episode,
every Doctor saying Brigadier is just the best part.
I just think that like not you'd think that most of them have had like big iconic ones, but it's really just Spearhead from Space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I'm being like unfair to it.
And Unearthly Child is fantastic.
And yeah, that's what I was going. Unearthly Child is like if you think that like Doctor Who was like good from the very beginning, like
It immediately was, and then the second episode
Gosh.
was a lot of like cavemen in caves
Yeah.
talking caveman.
But then Dalek though. Like,
Dalek is fantastic. I
Yeah.
forget that is that like the third episode?
That's like the third one when they've got,
Because like it's the second.
It's the Dalek.
It's the
yeah,
Daleks.
it's the Dalek because
We should
Dalek
probably
is
get our,
the
um,
Eccleston one.
Our names exactly right,
Oh, yeah,
or
we're
people
gonna- yeah.
will jump us.
I'm not
It's
entirely
definitely
sure
the
they will.
Dalek.
Like, I'm not entirely sure they will.
I think they will. I think they'll find us and be like, actually, you didn't put your "the" in there,
Oh, that.
so you've got no credibility.
To be fair, do we have any credibility right now?
No, you start with 0 and then you can only go down. So
Aye.
what's to lose?
But we've already got -10 credibility.
So I think what we're trying to go for with this is that I hope the first episode of the new season's a good episode, but I mean, based on prior history, it probably won't be.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I guess, like...
Rose is great.
Rose is good.
I feel like it's not necessarily aged that well.
From what I've seen from the initial publicity, it seems to be, like, sort of like they're going for, like, oh, Dr. Lands and new place.
We don't know though, because we've seen that she lands and that she's on a train. I want to say, which already we're
lands,
getting points for
she
that
lands
because
in Sheffield.
she lands in Sheffield. And
Spoilers, by the way.
there's been there'll be spoilers
Yeah.
if we can spoil something that's not
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's exactly what a spoiler is.
Yeah, but it's not. We've not seen it. So
We
how
have,
do you,
I mean, what? We spoiled the trailer.
yeah.
Yeah.
The trailer.
Spoilers for the trailer.
I suppose we should again. It's hard to start at the beginning, but they announced the very beginning, I guess, they announced that Moffat was leaving and
Yeah.
that there'd be a new showrunner and
But
there'd be a
that's
new
a good
Doctor.
thing.
And then I
That's a
think,
great thing. Like,
and then
Mo-
despite all the well, they won't they? I think every Doctor Who fan knew that it would be a woman. Like, there
Yeah,
wasn't
like,
any
it was
doubt
the
about
time.
this whatsoever.
It was kind of the
Definitely
time. It was kind of the time when Capaldi was cast. Like they
And you
should
could
probably have
tell
done it
that,
then.
and, like Moffat didn't even try to hide because he presumably knew, and he was
Yeah.
writing all the stuff about like the Master regening into a woman.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
all the
Like,
groundwork's
it
been
didn't-
set.
They
Like,
had set the groundwork. Like if it didn't happen, like it had to happen.
like it was the time. Like
I believe
absolutely.
Chris Chibnall wanted to, like, he said, I'm only taking the job if, like...
Really?
I-
Has he
I
gone
think
on
said
record
that.
as saying
No,
that?
that's quite
That's-
brave of him.
Chibnall's the most bland, beige choice
Yeah,
for
it's-
showrunner.
yeah, we should...
We should start at the beginning,
Yeah. For
which is something we've
ages,
saying a lot.
We just assumed it
We-
was gonna...
We've tried to go back to the beginning a million times.
I know.
For
but
ages,
failed.
we just assumed it would be Mark Gatiss.
I was trying to remember Mark Gatiss' name for the longest time. I don't know how I forgot Gatiss' name.
Is
But
it
yeah.
Gatiss or Gatt?
Gatas.
I think it's.
You'd think it would have been him because he's a big. I guess he's a big.
He's
BBC.
written a lot of episodes.
There's a lot of
Did
episodes
he
Him
do
and
the
Moffat
fir-
obviously have links, so you...
because he's doing Sherlock. His name's kind of up there.
Yeah.
He
He's-
did the
well,
documentary thing.
My...
didn't
Yeah, he did the Adventures in Time and Space. I want to
Ah,
say.
He
that's
did,
what
yeah.
it's called.
My guess is that he was considered, and then the BBC they decided they needed like a cleaner break
I would say that.
in like tonal style. Because I think if like he took over, he would have just continued the same style.
I think he would have doubled down though, because he's
Yeah.
a big unit man.
Yeah.
So
he?
like,
You know,
so I could go another run of like Pertwee Stuck on Earth. I feel like he would go even more kind of period piece with it, and he might even set it in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like he
That'd be
seems like that
interesting.
kind of a guy.
uh,
But
So, yeah, for whatever reason.
whatever
uh,
reason,
He was passed over. Maybe he didn't want it.
and then the BBC were like, lads, that episode of Torchwood, Cyberwoman, really did the numbers for us. Go get us that lad. Go get us Chippers.
yeah, I've never seen that episode of Torchwood, but at the same time, I remember being like a wee boy and seeing that trailer and was like, what?
Like,
Why is there a cyber
I mean,
in
let's
Torchwood?
let's just be clear. Of all the regular writers that New Who has had, Chris
Mm.
Chibnall is among the worst.
There's probably. I can't actually think of more regular writers.
I don't
Did the
think-
Being
I
Human
don't
guy,
think
is he a regular writer on?
Toby.
Wait, I feel like he's done multiple episodes.
Yeah, he did. I
He
feel
seemed-
like I couldn't name one. Did he do like the?
Did he do Power of Three?
Did he
Oh.
do the weird? Like, did he do? You know, Matt Smith one with like the werewolf, like in a castle.
Werewolf in a bat?
I mean,
What?
that's a Tennant one, that.
Yeah.
No, not
Werewolf in a castle.
What's that one where it's
There's a
like-
problem with Matt Smith who, where it gets post season 1 of his stuff and it just all
No,
blends
this is
together.
Like season,
Yeah.
This is like I think it's like the first episode that Rory comes with them. Like it's
Oh,
like,
that's
that-
Vampires.
yeah,
Vampires.
Vampires in
I feel
Venice.
like- yeah,
Vampires.
Vampires in Venice. That's the
There's no,
Assassin's Creed 2 was doing so well. They were like
Florence. Is it Vampires in Florence?
No,
Oh.
Vampires in Venice. That
Vampires
is-
in Venice. I feel like was a
I
tagline.
feel like
They're like
that's
fish
Toby
people.
Whitehouse one.
Hmm.
Anyway.
The Whitehouse stuff seemed like more kind of safe choice because he kind of more kind of a geeky
Yeah.
appeal.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Being
That's
human.
normal. So Chibnall's written like what 42. That was
42 is like the most generic episode of Doctor
It
Who
is.
possible.
This is what I'm saying about a lot of his episodes. Like he's written some very average Doctor Who episodes.
Very average. And
Yeah.
like some of them are comfortingly average. Like did he do the Silurian two-parter with Matt Smith? We should probably check
I'm
these
joking.
things.
I mean, to be fair, do you think it'll be like
Do you want me to get a laptop?
You get a laptop, we'll
probably.
do some fact checking.
Yeah.
do you think it'll be the most Doctor Who series though?
I don't know.
Because if Chibnall is just this like, oh, he's just like the most generic Doctor Who thing.
I think that generic Doctor Who can really work, but like it has to be like an episode that's generic Doctor Who. Like it can't just be a season of generic Doctor Who, and especially now when they're coming back and they're trying to make it this big thing. 'Cause
Yeah, the trailer's pretty bombastic.
yeah,
It's very orange.
it's very orange, and when David comes back, he'll have a whole thing about how yellow this series is,
To
and
be fair though, it's very like orangey yellow.
orangey
Like,
yellow.
Big desert stuff.
That's kind of like it's all those desert shots.
They're
so.
very much going for the Marvel aesthetic with their logo and branding, in my opinion.
I mean,
Do you-
to be fair, that is
you've
like,
said
that
that
is
to
pop
me.
culture right now. To be fair,
You've said that to me, but what do you
I
mean?
mean, like the Spider. I don't know. Like I just like it looks like looks like it could be a Marvel hero. Like I feel like the Spider-Man
Marvel is deeply popular,
Marvel
so.
is deeply popular, and they are like right in the middle of like Infinity War stuff.
Mhm.
Right. Let's look for Chris Chibnall Doctor Who episodes.
We had a listener comment there. James Meek was saying that the Chibbers aspect of the whole thing is the most worrying part of it for him. And that's kind of my
I think for a
feeling.
lot of people, like a lot
'Cause,
of
like-
fans have.
A lot of people are like,
I do see what you mean with the Spider-Man Homecoming logo thing because it does look like that.
well, the Spider-Man one's more kind of comic-y, I want to
It is,
say.
but at the same
So-
time, I can totally see it.
Right, let's
Chris
listen to the
Chibnall
episodes.
has written 42.
Yep.
Astonishingly average. Like that episode had such a great premise and didn't deliver
Well,
on it.
What
like-
one's that?
That's the one where
We're
it's
on a spaceship and it's meant to be like real time. Like the
Yeah.
title is a parody of 24.
yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
on a space station, it's near a sun. There's sun monsters, and they have to get to the front of the ship. But there's bulkheads that are locked and they're sealed behind
I feel
pub
like there was a
quiz
film.
questions.
I feel like there was
Oh.
a film that came out with the exact same plot, like right around the time.
Isn't that Sunshine?
Sunshine, yeah.
Well, I don't think it involves the pub quiz angle, but I feel like there's sun monsters and his thing. But like the whole thing was that they were illegally siphoning sun energy, and then the sun turned out to be alive, and that was why the monsters were
Was it
attacking
a
them.
Smith episode?
No, it was a Tennant episode. It was a Martha and Tennant. They
Was it the Big Devil one?
nope, it wasn't
No,
the Big
that
Devil one.
That's well, like the Beast.
That the
Below
Beast is it the Beast Below?
and Beast Below.
The
Is
Impossible
that the
Planet?
one where
Planet
he
is
wears
below.
that suit again though?
He, I believe, probably like
Yeah, he does wear the same suit.
they
Yeah,
got a lot of
yeah.
use out of that orange and yellow
I think like,
spacesuit.
people saw that suit in the trailer and they're like, oh, it's like a sequel to.
Oh yes,
that
clearly,
was-
yeah.
No, I know-
I guess
I
it was
know
the
about
in
that.
space episode of that season. Well, I
Yeah.
suppose a lot of them were, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It was
So
a decent amount of space.
next we get on to the Hungry Earth Cold Blood, which looking at this is probably like those. I feel like when those episodes first aired, they were like kind of like disappointing.
They're
slightly.
very, very. I've seen those
disappointing
episodes.
slightly compared to the rest of the series, but they're still pretty good.
What those ones are like generic ones that are kind of reassuringly generic.
Yeah.
Like the most times I've seen those episodes have been on bank holidays. Like
I mean, who does have a big bank holiday present?
But then, like, I feel like
absolutely.
when I
On
think of that
watch.
episode, I
it
just
then
think,
does.
I think of Rory Dan, like
Which
that,
didn't it?
which probably Chibnall had nothing to do. I think got told to put in that episode, but
Aye.
so like, that's what I think of when I think of those episodes. Like, I don't necessarily think of it for its like plot in and of itself,
Mhm.
or how it contributes to the overarching plot of that series.
It's got those like the cracks in the wall and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
but like
That's what I'm saying. Moffat wrote all that.
Yeah.
He just would have told to put the writers to put this stuff in.
it's set in Wales. Those
Yeah.
episodes, and
Oh,
it involves like a
yeah.
mining drill.
Yeah, it does, to be fair.
So,
I feel like it maybe didn't need to be a two-parter if I remember correctly. But
Yeah. There's
a
a
lot of it
lot.
dragged. It
Yeah.
had the worst trope in it, where the mum was horrible. Like Doctor Who's and mums just really don't go together because they
Yeah,
will
don't.
just commit genocide.
I mean, did that start with like Martha's mum?
There's Rose's mum as well.
Or no, but
Well,
Rose's
his
mum
mum's alright. Like
Rose's mum was fine.
Jackie,
yeah,
Tyler,
yeah.
I think Martha's mum was just concerned for her daughter, and then like
Well, Martha's family had all that plot where they were like,
they're informing
Yeah.
on,
I mean, like,
but like from
Divorce
we,
politics
we,
and
we
shit.
think of them as like bad because they're like informing on Martha and that, but like from their perspective, their daughter's just kind of disappeared with like a man,
Yeah.
and he might be alien, and also there was all the alien stuff that happened in those
There is,
seasons.
yeah.
Yeah,
like
like,
Big
yeah.
Ben was
Like,
attacked, and like
London had been invaded
yeah.
by Cybermen and Daleks.
Cybermen and Daleks by that point, although that hasn't happened now, I want to say. Like, I think that got written. Because, like, Amy didn't remember that. That was a line
No, but that
from
was
Matt
the
Smith.
thing. It's like Amy didn't remember that because like the crack in our wall was making our timeline weird.
Or did the cracks take away? Because I think in the Matt Smith stuff they wanted to go back to people not knowing about aliens, but also the Daleks and Cybermen did invade that one time,
Yeah.
or those 2 times. Remember when the Stolen
to be
Earth
fair, though,
happened?
there was also like there was that's what it references.
Mm.
But then it's also the stuff of like you know the Slovene crashing at Big Ben and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like aliens are just a big thing.
They're a thing.
On Earth in Doctor Who.
yeah. But I think
There was a definite move to get away from aliens invading London.
and then it went back to that because like
A
late
little
Moffat
bit.
Who is very much.
Yeah.
And when the
little
plants invaded London, it was like they weren't necessarily Triffids, but like all of the plants had grown up around Nelson's column. I want to say.
So,
We're talking about the new season.
no, we're talking about Chibnall's. What we get to next is
Yeah.
Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, which is also bang average.
It's
It's-
good.
it-
It
that-
gets a lot of hate. Does Dinosaurs on a Spaceship? I feel like that's a lot of people's jumping off point
There's
for Matt
that,
Smith
there's
to
that
do.
trowel bit though.
Oh, Rory's dad's amazing.
Rory's dad's great.
Rory's dad.
Like everything to do with Rory's dad is cracking, and then like kind of the heartbreak of Rory's dad, because like Rory and Amy like get left in the past
Yeah.
after they introduce the fact that Rory's dad's lovely.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they just did that to spite Rory's dad more than anything else.
Aye.
David
I
Bradley
mean,
was
did,
in
we,
that
did you ever
episode
see
with
like
Villain.
Amy's
Oh,
mum and dad
yeah.
after like they
Quite
got come
funny.
back?
Yeah, they didn't exist for a while, and then they did.
But did you ever see them after that episode?
think
I wanna say
they-
no.
They never had a line. You just saw them in the background of.
Weren't they in the wedding?
They
Weren't
were
they?
in the wedding
I
scene,
don't
I
know the wedding
believe.
and that's about it.
They never had a line, as far as I know.
Hmm.
I can't remember. Maybe I can't remember. if it was-
Imagine
I
that being
think
on
they
your
had a line.
IMDb fucking. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, that you've sworn now.
Yeah.
We're a bit edgy.
No, could you imagine that in your IMDb though? Just like Amy Pond's dad. Who was that?
Who
So-
was that?
Yeah,
And
the
then
most
his
memorable
last,
guy.
it looks like his last full episode of Doctor Who, he wrote a couple of like mini episodes.
He wrote Pond
Pond
Life,
Life,
I want to say,
yeah.
which I didn't know existed until I looked up Chibbers and what he did.
Oh, I Pond Life. I remember that. I see it. Saw that one.
Was that the one?
That's the one where
Was
it's
that the
like,
one that they? No, these were the ones that they filmed. What was the one that they never filmed?
They didn't
It was
film
like a
the-
cartoon type.
That's Rory's dad again, and that is him.
Yeah, I think Chibnall wrote that as well.
would you
Yeah.
just get like a Rory's dad thing?
It
going
depicts a
on?
letter that Rory sent to his father Brian explaining why he and Amy are not returned. Yeah, this episode was dubbed as the scene. I like that.
That's
That's
cool.
good.
That is like a less just screwing over Rory's dad.
Yeah. Here's
That-
a heartbreaking scene that was really good that we never filmed. Anyway.
That would have probably improved those episodes, but I guess this cast isn't about those episodes. It's about the episodes that he did make. So he didn't do Power of Three. I always thought it was Chibbers for some reason.
He did do Power of Three.
He did do Power of
Yeah,
Three. Sorry, yeah. I like Power of Three.
Power of Three is very arcade.
What one
It's
is that?
very. That's the one that's made
The-
to look
the
like a Russell T
cubes.
Davis episode. They're like little black cubes that are
Yeah,
everywhere,
that one. Yeah.
and it's like a slow invasion over the course
I
of
like
a
that
year.
one. That's good. That one.
Yeah, I think that is pretty. It's pretty okay.
Yeah, it's the bit where the Doctor gets like
I want to say
and
like it has
does a
like
bunch of housework.
celebrity cameos in it in the style of a Doctor, like
Yeah, there's like news broadcasts
that
and.
science man.
I wouldn't say that all of his Doctor Who content shows like a kind of wide variety of stuff. Basically, I wasn't excited when they announced that Chibbers was taking
But
over.
like, see when you found out that Moffat was going to take over Doctor Who, you knew it was Doctor Who was going to be.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
kind
you were excited for it. At least I was very excited
Yeah,
for it.
like, well, you presumed there would be like sort of like a more overarching,
More
plot line,
grown-up
there would be a
kind of-
more more grown up, more sort of like
Scary, I guess.
timey-wimey.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Yeah, that's very much what it was.
Yeah.
What is Chibbers going to
Like,
do?
like when you think of Chip, like what do you think? What is his Doctor Who going to be?
I'm,
Well,
I'm
Right-
mainly
right-
just
well,
expecting
right now it
generic
seems like
Who.
this tack on it is sort of like modernising it and adding the woman Doctor and sort of
Mhm.
adding more diversity to the cast. That seems to be his take on it. But
Mhm.
like in terms of like
Well, I think
the
structurally,
sci-fi part of it,
structurally-
what do you think he's going to offer?
he looks like he's going back to a more team-based TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like a Hartnell and Davidson era kind of like.
I mean that's good though, isn't it? 'Cause
It's great,
I
it's
really
fantastic.
Like those TARDISes.
It's fantastic because I'm deathly sick of the Doctor and young
Young woman.
Yeah,
women
yeah,
from
yeah.
Earth. Like won't they kind of love interest stuff
And,
when
like,
they do
the
that?
Doctor should not have a love interest.
I mean, they've
Unless
done that
it's
now.
Yeah,
That
the
was
Doctor
kind of
can't
David
have
Tennant's
love-
thing.
I'm not a purist on the Doctor can't have love interest. It's totally fine.
Like it already happened in with McGann. Like
Yeah.
he has a love interest in that film.
I mean, to be
and,
fair though, unless it's Bradley Walsh, I'm not
By the
interested.
way, quick aside, I think Paul McGann's in Holby City.
Just in Holby City
Yes.
every
I mean, to
day.
be fair, like,
As far as I
what has he
know.
done
Oh
apart
my
I was
from-
looking
God.
for channels, and I'm like, is that Paul McGann? And I'm pretty sure.
Well, I
Did
know
you
what
ever
I'm doing
see-
after this.
Did you ever see Paul McGann's like little webisode that was like when he becomes
Yes.
a War Doctor?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
episode.
That's
Yeah.
actually great.
Like,
Yeah.
they just dropped like the biggest bomb in the history of Doctor Who. I think it was just like on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it because it was the Saturday of the
Yeah, it was
episode, so it'll
I
be the
feel like it was
Friday-
the day before.
yeah,
It just
Day of the Doctor? Yeah.
boom. Like,
Yeah.
there-
If they did more stuff like
I think
that.
there had been I don't think there had been concrete rumours that this is happening. I think there had been fans going, "Oh, imagine if they did this."
Yeah.
And they bloody did, and it was really good.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then like to follow that up with the Five-ish Doctor is with incredible in itself, but then McGann's appearance in that.
Yeah.
Where he's having to like kind of lie to Davidson, Baker, and Sylvester about what he's doing,
The
so he can't help them.
The Five-ish Doctor is.
They should do more Five-ish Doctors.
Sensationally good. Like,
It'll-
if you haven't seen it,
Go search out.
go
Yeah.
watch the Five-ish Doctors.
The thing is, they're doing like a more team-based thing. It just so happens that Bradley Walsh is on that team,
Yeah.
and I feel like we have to drop.
He's clearly supposed to be taking like the Ian kind of role.
Is he though? Like, and I like Ian, and I think a lot of people gained a lot of love for Ian over the course of that Twitch
It
stream.
might be Ian, or is it?
Oh, I don't know. I've not actually looked up their names or anything, but I think no matter what, like you could do anything with Doctor Who, and even be a,
Graham. That's
Graham. That's an incredible name.
That-
Yeah.
That's very much
Yeah.
the same.
Ian
They should have just
Graham,
called him Bradley, like just go that route as
Well,
well.
just
But
let it be Bradley Walsh.
but like Bradley Walsh playing yeah, I love everything about Bradley Walsh, and I love everything about him being in Doctor Who. I just think that if you're a showrunner in 2018 and your first thought is to cast Bradley Walsh in your hit young new show, maybe you should be looked into, because like what the hell are you doing? Like Bradley Walsh.
Do you think the Bradley Walsh casting is just like a sop to like old men?
Well, yes,
Because
but also
companions are two sort of
they're two
minority teens.
yeah.
The Doctor's a woman.
The Doctor's a woman, so we're going to put Bradley Walsh in there to counter that. I think so. Like, what's the timeline? Did Brexit happen and then they cast Bradley Walsh?
I mean,
Like, pre-Bradley Walsh, it was just going to be the Doctor and someone else, but they're like, no, Brexit's happened. We're going to have to get Bradley Walsh in to shore up this thing.
I think we're being unfair to Bradley Walsh though, because
I don't think you can be unfair to Bradley Walsh. Like,
I can see what they're going. They want to bring like an older sort of, oh, what's going on here?
I bet he does Airfix models.
Oh,
I bet he owns a lot of Haynes manuals.
Yeah.
Like, if the first scene of him isn't in a shed, I'll be disappointed.
I mean, yeah.
Or a
obviously.
chippy.
A chippy, well, they've already done that. They've
Yeah.
already blown their
Trippy.
their chippy load there. But they want it to be popular, right? Because I feel like Chibbers has come out and said he wants to take it back to like David Tennant era peak Doctor Who.
That is unlikely.
I feel like
That's
I don't
his
think
intent. I feel-
achievable.
I don't think it is, but like
Stylistically.
I think that's a noble goal, right?
Yeah, it's
But-
a noble goal, but I don't think how.
I feel like
how
you
people
should-
are as, like, questionable.
I feel like you shoot that noble goal in the leg with the casting of Bradley Walsh. Like, I know people that were excited for the Lady Doc and a new show and new companions, and then you mention to them, like you just look them directly in the eye, and then you say, Bradley Walsh is in it though, and they just get disgusted. They just recoil from you in terror.
So
and-
I'm well up for that. I think that'd be great.
Again, like I love everything about it. I hope he just is a character from Minder. Like I hope he's like trying to sell some bent motors, and then the Doctor like crashes into the bent motors, and then he has to go like sell aliens bent motors. Like I hope that's his entire character arc.
that I'm very up for.
I just think that's really troubling, in like your show when you're trying to make it this big thing.
It definitely is. But
And I
I'm
know-
still very much up for it.
I know the internal logic is they're trying to court the ITV crowd. Like David, you've said this to me a lot of the times when we talk about Bradley Walsh. It's like
Good.
they really want to get ITV
That
viewers.
like when a little bit of Matt Smith, but especially when Capaldi took over, they lost the ITV crowd.
The lost
big
guy,
time.
like, was Capaldi too intellectual for the
too
ITV?
intellectual, just
Like,
I don't
Because
know what the
like
problem was.
Capaldi's older, so you think that the ITV crowd would jive with that.
Yeah, I think The commoner thing you hear is that the plots became too complicated.
They
It's
did,
Doctor
but
Who.
like they didn't become too complicated, but they became too kind of up themselves.
Yeah, I
I would
think
say.
that's very different. Like,
Too Whovian.
Not even just kind of very much like. I think a lot of the criticism is like, oh, they think they're smarter than us, and I don't think that's necessarily true, but it kind of
Yeah.
comes across like that in
Yeah.
certain Matt Smith episodes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like timeline stuff with River Song that I just don't
That-
want to engage
yeah,
with on
I mean,
any level.
I think Moffat had the right balance with this first series.
First season,
He went too far in the second with like the dying doctor.
The Dying Doctor was too far.
I think that's when a lot of people like there was that series.
I think
where
that
it was
first-
split,
yeah,
and the Doctor died. and I
the
think
split
a lot-
was huge. Like the split.
Yeah,
That Doctor dying though, I would say was the best bit. Like he went too far, but like killing Doc in episode 1 of his second series was incredible.
I mean, he
Like that-
went too far for the casuals. Like,
Too far for the casuals, but like I think even like killing the Doctor, that was enough for them. But like all the explanations of it, I think that was the part that was too far.
Yeah.
Like the setup was amazing.
yeah, you're right.
Like that is
yeah.
an incredible hook for a show.
Yeah,
Killing your main character directly at the start, especially in a show that kind of revolves around killing the Doctor.
I think like overall the balance that was set in series 5 was really really good. Like that moment where you realise oh it's actually the future Doctor coming back to talk to Amy. and-
Yeah, that was
Fantastic.
incredible. I remember you mentioning that. I feel like you mentioned that to me
Yeah,
the first
like,
time. I didn't
remember,
catch it.
yeah.
I kind of noticed that it was like wearing something different.
I never noticed that. Like,
I noticed the continuity gaff at the time, but I
Yeah.
didn't think anything about it. I was just
people
like,
just assumed it was
yeah.
a continuity gap, which is obviously what they were going.
yeah. Like if they did more stuff like that and less kind of like, I just don't like River Song is what this is going to expose. Like I just don't like anything about her. But like if they did less stuff with that and then everything involving Clara, it kind of felt like missteps.
yeah, I mean, Clara is like very hated amongst like.
I saw
everyone.
rumors that Clara was coming back for the season, and obviously I was like, "That's dumb. Why would I use?" But like the fact that people were out there making that content for the internet to, for people to hate,
I mean, that is a lot of like YouTube these days, though.
Oh, aye, you make things for people to hate. Like that's
Yeah.
where we're at. Like again, I'll be dropping warm bombs in this just to keep people interested.
I think the issue with Clara is like they kept trying to make like companions important and
Yeah.
like, save the Doctor and
They got around that with Bill a
Yeah.
wee bit. Like spoilers for Bill, everyone, because I guess that's recent enough to be a spoiler. But Bill dies at one point.
Yeah.
Aye, she comes back, and aye, she's a space god, and I guess that makes her incredibly important. But it didn't necessarily feel like they were lathering it on the same way they
Is
did
that
with Clara.
like just like retreading like
it was all like
Rose
the
territory and like
impossible.
Donna territory as well?
Kind
Because
of.
they both get like major power ups.
Oh, aye.
It was all like the Impossible Girl and
Oh, Clara like saved the Doctor at
Yeah.
every point in his timeline, and I hate that.
Yeah,
But-
it's the fact that like they made like Clara. It's like oh, she is the one reason why Doctor Who exists, and she's the most
Well-
important special thing.
Yeah, it falls down because if Clara was likable, that wouldn't be a problem. But she is not likable in the slightest. So
I mean, she's kind of likable in the.
I mean, let's not
in
forget,
the 50th
they
anniversary.
did
she's
exactly
fine.
the same with Rose. It's just Rose was generally a more likable character.
2005 was a different time, David.
It was.
A different time.
But at the same
Like,
time,
Rose
Rose is still like
literally
human.
absorbed the TARDIS.
She got some time vortex powers.
At the same time, though, Rose is like she's very human.
She got a lot of. She was likable. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
She was a likable character. Clara's very just kind of like I've talked about this before in one of the casts. Clara started out as a generic cardboard cutout companion that was there to be like, "Oh, Doctor, what's happening?" kind of thing, and that was entirely fine when that's what it was.
The
Yeah.
thing
But
is,
then they slathered on that
the
she was
difference
important.
is like RTD can write characters like Rose, whereas Moffat can't write characters like Clara very well. He wrote the Bonds really well, I thought.
Aye.
but Not Clara.
That's
And
a
also
diff-
Bill
that's
was
a
pretty
different
good,
dynamic.
so-
Bill's a good
I
character.
feel like his hit rate on companions wasn't that bad. It's just Clara was in it for too long.
Clara, yeah, I was
Yeah.
reading something the other day where she said she was leaving so many times, like the actress was going, but then
Yeah.
decided to stay, and that
Yeah.
kind of shows when you watch it back because there's that Christmas episode where she just aged,
Yeah.
you know, and then she could have just aged out of the show,
I think
but
I assume that was what's happened because I feel like they hadn't announced at that point. And no.
yeah.
Anyways.
This new season with its companions, the two younger ones kind of like they kind of get swallowed up by the
They
black
haven't shown
hole.
anything about it. Like they haven't shown anything about like. Well, I guess obviously they want to keep it secret.
It's great that they are.
Yeah.
Like I'm fighting the urge to be like they've not shown anything yet. Like I don't need to be spoiled on the entire show,
Well, like,
but at the same time I need to be hyped up for it even just a little.
But no, I think the baseline for a companion should be you come across some shit that the Doctor's doing, then you help the Doctor, and then the Doctor invites you on the ship.
Yeah.
That's what a companion should be.
A cool person that does things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You're
maybe
there-
Bradley Walsh like qualifies for that, but I don't know. Like,
I mean,
I don't
we
exactly
don't know
hold out
how
hope for
Bradley
that.
Walsh is. I suspect he won't be in every episode.
you said that to me, and then there was a trailer out that kind of implied otherwise. Like, they were like, it was a scene where they're like, oh, who's in charge? And they all point to the Doctor. And
That's
they're-
5 seconds of footage.
It is, but like it kind of implies like that like Bradley Walsh is entirely behind the Doctor and would have reason to do so.
I'm kind of pro that.
So like I bet
No,
that Bradley Walsh will be in at least most of the episodes. Maybe he'll like be put into a chippy for an episode or two while they go and have youth adventures somewhere.
Just like
He's like, no, I'm too old for that like Mars crack.
Like, you know the episode where they're on the school and like the Doctor composes a teacher, the other two composes like
Yeah.
school
Aye.
and Bradley Walsh is just like, I'm too old for that,
The
I'm gonna go
point
work in a
is-
chippy in the
Mm.
street.
Bradley Walsh is a very, very busy man, and Doctor Who
Aye.
like means you can do nothing else.
I suppose, but like how many like episodes of The Chase can he bang out in a day? I bet it's in like the triple digits.
I imagine it is. No, not the triple
I know,
It'll
he's
be
a
3 or
machine.
4
The
it'll be
doubles
3 or 4,
definitely.
yeah.
Like at max 3 or 4. 'cause
I mean, he
if
just
it's a-
he can just do his little like.
But bear in
Bits.
mind, they
I
probably
try
do
not to laugh.
hundreds of episodes a year.
I don't know. Like I was saying before, I feel like the black hole that is Bradley Walsh has swallowed up any word about the other companions. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like they were in, like Bradley Walsh wasn't in the leaked footage that came out. They were, and I couldn't tell you anything about them really. I feel like one of them's either like a traffic police,
Yeah,
like a
it's
train
like
police,
Yeah.
or is
I know,
involved with the
so-
police in some way,
Yeah.
and the other person is a person.
I mean, to be fair, like, shouldn't the companions just be like regular folk?
Oh,
I
aye.
think we didn't know who Amy Pond really was before the series, did
She
we?
was like a stripper, wasn't she?
No, we didn't
Well,
know
they
that.
didn't. I think that
No,
was
but
a.
even then, like in the first episode, she basically was.
Aye, like that was she was like a strip again, but I think that joke was kind of preserved. I don't think they announced that was going to be the
No.
intent. They were just like they
Yeah.
probably saw her as like a police like woman because we saw like filming shots or whatever, and then
Yeah.
publicity stuff. And we just assumed that she was a police.
And then you realise she's not a police, she's a
Like, we
stripper.
knew that she was in it, and we had seen scenes with her, but we didn't know anything about her.
Yeah,
She's maybe a police.
they've been very tight, very tight on the footage that's come out. It's like there was some leaked stuff, and then they put out like a terrible World Cup ad.
Oh, God! So, context. World Cup final, like, you advertise, there's going to be a trailer for the new series of Doctor Who, it's like tight. And then, like, it was like halftime in the World Cup final, and then they show it, and it was pitch. Like,
It was a
absolutely
teaser.
nothing. It was a teaser.
It was a teaser for a teaser.
It was a teaser for a teaser.
Like,
Fantastic.
Was that the
Bradley
one?
Walsh was in a
Sponsored by
chippy,
Maltesers.
like
Was he reading the
the
Beano?
other companions were like waiting for getting pizzas.
The Doctor was like moving through time by
Yeah.
herself, and like she probably definitely won't be doing that in the show.
There's
But like for
no-
that hot minute, people are like, "What, does she have time powers now? This is terrible, ruined."
Time Lords don't have
That's-
time.
that's-
Time Lords don't have time powers. Yeah, they need a capsule to travel through the vortex. But that was a terrible trailer.
Yeah.
And it was even worse because
And then,
they dropped the proper trailer for the Americans.
Yeah,
At
that
Comic-Con.
was great.
And it's not like 2008 anymore. We don't all watch The Big Bang Theory, and we don't care about Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
it was a bad move.
Like, don't be trying to be this big British institution and then go up, like, appeal to the colonists. Like, it left a bad taste in the mouth, didn't
I mean-
it?
Based on what you just said there, though, I'm very glad that the Big Bang Theory is ending.
It is ending. That was a good thing that happened this year.
Yeah.
I suppose I could do another 10 hours on why I liked The Big Bang Theory in 2007, 8-ish, and then fell off it. So...
We could put one on Doctor Who.
We're on Doctor Who. So the kind of narrative here is that every single bit of news that has come out for this new show, other than, Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, has kind of been lackluster. Like, it's not lit a fire in us. It's not made us hyped.
lackluster, and you can tell you can tell exactly who they're trying to appeal to with all of the marketing.
Yeah.
And all of the publicity that they're doing. Like the trailers including like pop songs.
Well, like, you say pop songs, I just heard noise. Clanging, like, not even aesthetic noise.
Aesthetic noise.
I'm at the point where, like, music just doesn't sound like anything to me anymore.
Fantastic.
Unless it's like Queen, then like I can't identify it as music anymore.
Like a lot of the media opportunities that Jodie Whittaker has been doing is like she's been appearing on like kids shows and like women's magazines. So I'm just
yeah.
trying to get that.
That's entirely fine. Like that's
appealed to Doctor Who again because obviously they sort of dropped out.
yeah.
I mean, like,
She was on the Graham Norton show the other day.
I mean,
Yeah,
that does make sense because
Mhm.
like new thing Doctor Who coming out, that would make
That is doing the rounds. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff is fine. It's just that like I don't need them because I think they've come out and said that the Daleks, the Cybermen, and the Master won't be in this series. And even if that's a lie, that's still something that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
And
I suspect it's a half truth.
a half truth or any like just
I mean, there'll definitely be like some Daleks in it entirely
If
because they have to.
Yeah.
the Daleks are in the series, then we know without doubt that the Nation of State has a thing.
yeah. Like well, the Nation of State. Oh, I can talk about them in a minute. But what I heard was it was going to be a Dalek Christmas episode, which is weird that they've not done one of them yet.
Yeah.
To think about it, and that lets them get away with it if they're doing like a tone thing where like the new series is either more
Yeah.
serious or more
I'm-
realistic.
I'm looking now. There is an 11th Christmas episode.
Yeah, that 11th Christmas episode, if it's Dalek based, that'll allow them to do Daleks this year and get away with not having any Daleks in their plot.
Yeah.
like in their
Yeah,
actual-
that makes sense. If it's like outside the main plot of the season,
But
and then they've got like, oh, and by the way, Daleks, that'd be fine.
I'm kind of showing kind of who I am here, but like, if they had Daleks and Cybermen and recognizable monsters in those trailers, I'd probably be more hyped. That says more about me than it does the show, but
Is I want new monsters.
Yeah.
Show me some of them in the trailer. Like you can't like.
is there going to be monsters? Is the question, or is it just going to be?
Probably will.
Is it going to be more kind
I mean,
of?
there
Well,
has to be
does there? Because like it might, the tone they might be going for is more kind of like scientific problem or like alien problem that isn't necessarily like a marketable. Because like that was kind of a problem for Moffat too. They were always trying to have like a recognizable monstery kind of thing,
Yeah.
like in later seasons and like
I
for the
mean,
toys.
You don't have to have a monster in every episode.
Well, it's Doctor Who, and that's kind of what the program is.
Yeah,
but I
at
can
the same time, like you can't have like the Matt Smith episode when they're on the whale in space. Like,
Yeah.
that's
My
more
point,
of a.
I'm sure they've confirmed it, but in my opinion, you cannot be a Doctor Who showrunner if you don't have the ability to come up with Doctor Who monsters.
Well,
Yeah.
they could be banking on the fact that they're like, no, our plot's so good, we don't necessarily need monsters, we just need situations and events.
But at
like-
the same time,
To
that's
me,
not what
to
Doctor
me
Who
that
is.
is a key part of the role.
Oh,
You have to
absolutely.
come up with
I would be
something.
angered, but like I could see Chibnall. Like I'm not saying he's just going to do 10 episodes of Broadchurch, but like he did that, and that was very successful for him. And also, he did Cyberwoman, and people didn't like Cyberwoman, so maybe he was burnt by Cyberwoman.
But at the same
Cyberwoman
time-
was more than a decade ago. Let's hope he's improved as a writer since.
Yeah, but at the same time though, like if they didn't have like a single new monster, that'd be pretty galling.
Well, it would be, but like maybe they could do it so well that you wouldn't matter.
I'm sure
That I
they've
doubt.
confirmed that there's new monsters.
Mm.
I will, whether or not they're good, but I think there will be new monsters. I don't really have to worry. I just like if they showed it in the. I think people would go like you would get a sort of a subsection of fans who'd be like spoilers.
Mm.
But to me, I kind of want to see that stuff.
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
trailer.
And like if they did if they did recognizable stuff in the trailers, I'd be more hyped. Because as it is, the trailers are just kind of them running about
Like
and like
do-
Bradley
do you
Walsh
remember
saying
when-
things.
Do you remember? Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
like I can see from the trailers why they cast Jodie Whittaker because she seems like she's got.
Seems like a good
charisma
actress,
and
yeah, or
Well,
actor.
Like so, obviously, I like her in the trailers. I
Mm.
just don't like everything else in the trailers. If that makes sense.
Well, everything else in the trailers, the problem is that it's kind of nothing.
Yeah.
It's standard Doctor Who. I watched one today, I don't know if it's the most recent one, and I was kind of a wee bit, placated because it looked like they were filming in a pumping station. Like there was a lot of piping and steam.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's good budget work.
I mean, to be fair though, my only like major memory of the trailers is like them walking through a big field of orange.
Yep.
It's
That,
like 4 characters walking through orange, and that's all I can remember.
well,
There's so much orange and yellow in the.
I was kind of happy by the orange and yellow because I think that's like a desert planet, or at least a desert, because it kind of looked like it was
See,
just
if
going to
the
be them
fun-
in Sheffield for a while.
No, see if the first episode is just them on Desert Planet. That'd be.
I think the first episode is them in Sheffield.
No, like,
Yeah.
as in like the first episode, like that's not on Earth.
Right, the first like off-Earth.
Yeah,
cut
so
about.
episode 2
Yeah,
will be like, all right,
end of the world style.
Yeah, no, first thing, desert. That's it.
Do you like a good desert? Are you
I mean, not
intrigued
re-
by deserts?
I mean, like, yeah, but like in kind of like an Iron Man way, where it's like kind of like, oh, we have to get out of here because
Right.
we're gonna die type way.
Yeah, I normally hate those episodes. See the sci-fi, see when they're trapped somewhere and it's like a generic boring. I know that's a lot of Doctor Who to come think of it like classic here, but I tend to hate like people trapped in this place kind of.
Yeah,
I like
get
cutting
you.
about cities, I like cutting about space cities, but
Do you remember when Matt Smith's first year, like they had like a sort of like Amy and Rory in the Vortex sort of like promo?
yep,
was, like,
that where they're
showed-
kind of like
This showed all the monsters that like I feel like they showed the Silurian, like
Yeah.
they showed the Silurian.
they're
masks,
very
like,
proud of those
3D.
Silurian masks
Yeah.
though.
They look good
They did look
Yeah.
good. There's like a Weeping Angel,
Mhm.
like that. Like they showed all the monsters that were going to be in that,
That
series.
that seems to me more like trying to make it popular, trying to make Doctor Who big, bold Doctor Who, and like.
I think they did that though.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what season 5
Yeah,
was.
exactly.
And then, like-
they executed on it.
Yeah, to me, they seem to be doing a lot of new things for this season, for season
Yeah,
11.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's great. It just a wee bit worried what those new things are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I would like them to do, like, an overarching, just every episode is continuing the plot, like a Netflix-style 10-episode show.
It's a TV show in 2018. They have to do that.
They have
They
to.
have to do that.
Like, I know, like, each episode will probably be, like, the Desert Planet episode,
It'll
or,
be-
like,
it'll be to
the...
less of an extent than Moffat was doing it, but they have to do it. Like RTD did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I imagine it'll be a lot more like Netflix style than RTD style. Like,
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like I'm kind of surprised it's not just one plot.
My guess is the level of plot will be much closer to Moffat than RTD.
Oh,
Despite
alright.
the fact all they're saying about it'll be like less. I don't think they've ever actually, like any of the producers have ever actually said it's like less complicated.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever actually said that.
But they're angling for
They're
that.
angling for that, but I don't think they've explicitly said it.
Mhm.
And I think like I feel like the willingness of the audience to follow plot should be better now in 2018.
Well, like people just watch Netflix shows,
Exactly.
and I'm vaguely surprised that they're not all dropping it at once. Like maybe they will. Maybe next Sunday will come and they'll just be like, watch the next episode now on the iPlayer.
possibly
That would be mental.
That would be a huge thing, and like
No, I will tell you why. Ever since they announced the Sunday date, that's not going to happen.
Right.
I think the fact it's on a Sunday,
Yeah.
they're trying.
Yeah, is
Like,
that
if the Sunday thing doesn't work out, then they might. I think
Is it
that's
on-
why they're moving.
I
on
hear
BBC
Sunday,
One? Is
and
it on
I-
BBC One?
yeah,
Yeah.
BBC
Is
One.
it taking the Top Gear spot?
No, it's
Was-
6.
Was
It's
Top Gear
6.
on BBC One?
No,
Oh,
it's Top
It's
Gear on
6,
BBC
2
Two.
PM ones, and my guess it won't have a consistent slot. Like BBC on the weekends doesn't work in consistent slots.
Hmm.
Nothing on the BBC at weekends has like a consistent
A set
slot.
slot, do they?
I mean, Top Gear did though. It was like 8 o'clock every
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. BBC One specifically on weekends doesn't have
Right.
consistent slots.
Yeah.
Well, I hear the word Sunday, and I hear the word Brexit in my mind. Like, the fact that they announced
it'll
it
be
for
on
a Sunday,
Post songs of praise.
post songs of
Oh.
praise,
Country Wales.
you've got your Sunday roast in you, sit down to, like, the nation's favourite time traveller, you know, go back to a time before the Europeans came
That is an interesting theory.
With your apple pie.
with your
Oh.
apple pie.
Don't stop.
Um,
Cease.
I think it's just I think they've like done the maths and they've realised that
Oh no, it probably makes
in
sense.
terms of like when people like and we are in 2018 where people watch less live TV, but I think they've made the calculation that people are most likely to watch live TV on Sunday evenings.
Yep, makes
and
sense.
they're probably right on that.
You'll
They're prob-
slide over from your film on Channel 5.
They're very much going for the Sunday family together
Yeah.
in the evening
I-
watching Doctor Who. That's what they're going for.
Yeah, because everybody that wants to see it, like, I'll see it live, and then everybody, like, every nerd will see it on the iPlayer
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
like, method
They'll
they
watch
will.
it Monday night.
And then, like, I don't know. They have to get the kids, I guess, just getting the kids watching it, and then they
Yeah.
go back to school on the Monday, and then they talk
Talking
about it, and then somehow maintain the hype for 7 days.
The kids will be like, "What? I can't. What? The next episode doesn't just start. What
It doesn't
is
isn't
this?
on, yeah, like
Wait.
more
What?
than like 5 seconds, and you're
No,
saying
but
I
it's
can't skip the
more than the
intro.
amount of time it takes for a line to go around
Yeah.
the play button in
No,
a
but-
circular motion.
No, but even then though, have you seen that Netflix are putting ads in between?
I have seen that, and that's deeply worrying because
I know
you
it's-
pay for it to not have
I
ads.
pay for that. I pay for that algorithm and that quickness to get to the next episode.
Yeah.
And skip the opening titles.
Like I'm paying for it now, so I can watch Alan Partridge. Like if I have to watch ads, I'll just get the DVDs. Like I'll just construct some sort of Alan Partridge player that immediately plays an episode of Alan Partridge after an episode of Alan Partridge.
You just
ends.
get a multi-DVD thing.
Yeah, like a DVD changer in the trunk of my sports
I
car.
think we should have, so. This is episode 0 of the podcast. We're
Yeah.
going to be doing this for every episode.
We'll probably do a viewing party. Is what I'm thinking. We'll probably get everyone round if it's
Not entirely sure
feasible.
I'll be there for that.
I feel like it's not feasible.
It's probably not feasible, but I think we can say these things, then work it out
We
later.
can maybe do it in some weeks.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to be there.
Maybe for the first
Some
episode.
weeks we can have like more of an Insta reaction.
Yeah. Well, you need
Yeah.
it to be split second. We need to be live tweeting it. Like, we
but
need-
I was thinking. I was thinking we should have a Brexitometer where we rate out of 10 how Brexit.
How Brexit is this episode?
Oh,
It looks. That's a tricky one because, like, do you.
It might be unfair, but I have this thing in my head, right? Where all the people who stopped watching Doctor Who are Brexit voters.
The overlap is probably there. Not
I'm
to
not saying
besmirch
it's-
a
I'm not saying it's
whole.
like- I'm not saying-
correlation is not
I'm not saying
causation.
it's like a
but-
perfect circle.
Mm.
I just think the people who checked out of Doctor Who over time
Mm.
were Brexit voters, are
Yeah.
more likely to be Brexit voters. Like,
Well, do you think-
we don't want this, like...
Do you think the thought there was that the people that checked out under Matt Smith were like, oh, he's too young, so we'll
Yeah.
get Capaldi, older, doesn't vote for Brexit, obviously, but I say obviously, but like he visibly looks like he could, so maybe that makes him more appealing to the Brexit voter. And then they've gone the hard left and done a WOM, so like,
Yeah, like... I'm just spitballing here because obviously, like a lot, like looking outwardly, like a lot of it is like very against Brexit. Like,
Yeah.
Doctor, like minority.
no, Doctor Who is such a
companions.
progressive. It's twofold because it's such a progressive thing. Like RTD enshrined in the like DNA of New Who that it's like this progressive, like lovely thing.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
it also happens to be the most British thing in the world.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you like
And
square
they're
that
going for, like-
circle?
they're going for like mass ratings. Like you can't
Yeah.
get mass ratings without being a bit Brexit.
A wee bit Brit. Like they've put a chip shop, a greasy spoon, in the trailers.
Yeah.
They're obviously going for that Brexit vote. So
I mean, are they though? Because everyone likes a chippy.
everyone does, but especially those that voted Brexit, Shanks.
I'm not entirely sure that's entirely true.
I'm pretty sure.
Like that, I mean, going ahead and saying on episode 0 of this podcast.
I'm pretty sure
like, Chippy's been
demographically
Brexit.
we know enough about Brexit voters to say Brexit voters are probably more likely to go with the Chippy. I'm
Like-
not saying that's a bad thing.
What if one of the episodes later in the series they go to like France or something, and then they're like Jodie Whittaker's like wait, and then she goes into the TARDIS and comes back out and then just has like a blue passport.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
And she just like holds the blue passport to camera for like a full 5 seconds, and then moves on with the
Yeah,
episode.
but-
That would, I would
Yeah,
put the
six.
episode there.
Do you think the word Brexit will be used?
Oh yes.
No, absolutely.
No,
not.
100%.
I,
Doctor
think-
Who.
I think there's a chance. I don't think it might only be once. But
Doctor
I
Who
think,
is 100% the program that will mention
I
current
think there will
things.
be a Brexit joke in this series.
I
I think there'll be a Brexit joke episode 1
No.
within the first 5
Yeah.
minutes.
No, if there
It's in
is.
Sheffield, which probably voted for Brexit.
No, but
That's
at the same
probably
time-
saying it. Isn't Sheffield in the north? Like,
yeah.
No, if Brexit is mentioned, it will be on like the news on a report. Like in the background
No,
of the
I
Sheffield.
No, I
episode.
think they go for maximum impact. Like one of the characters.
I believe the
mentions
Doctor.
Brexit.
Like,
I think Brexit is too like. I think Brexit is too big a national thing. Like
Mhm.
I think they're gonna want to do it.
next season they go to the Brexit festival.
Oh,
Right, I'm just Sheffield Brexit vote. Let's find out.
Oh god, we're going deep
no,
diving.
Why are we doing this?
Did, like, you remember all like how many times did like David Tennant say Facebook and like Donna specifically said it at one point and like
It was very close in Sheffield. 51% voted Leave, so it was pretty split.
that's the country. That
Yeah.
like that is
that almost actually entirely perfectly represents how the country voted. So Sheffield is a microcosm.
a microcosm.
you can say.
Yeah, I hope they don't go back to Sheffield more than once. Like I hope it
because of
isn't like a
that.
recurring. No, I just don't want them to do that again. I want every
Yeah.
episode to be a different thing.
Moffat has the right idea about not going back to like London.
Not going back to
Where
London.
was-
London consistently.
Where-
Like,
where was,
I think
um,
the crowd that bounced out of Doctor Who didn't like that. Like I think they liked the idea that like Rose had a home that she
Yeah.
went to.
No, where
Yeah,
was
like-
it that Amy
and, like,
Pond
a
was
mum,
from?
I think people
Amy
really
Pond
like
was
that.
from a small English village. Well, she was from Scotland
I'm
originally.
aware of that part, but, like,
But,
where was
she-
the town that she met the Doctor?
I don't know if it's a fictional English
Amy
town.
Pond wasn't written in that way. Like she wasn't.
No, but, like,
Well, they
I
do
just
go
like-
back to that village for Amy's
The wedding they did,
Yeah.
Amy's Choice, is it called? The one where
Amy's
she's
Choice.
the Dream Lord episode. I guess it's a fake
Yeah.
version of that town, but they're clearly like, this is where she lives. And I feel like she moved to London. Did she move to London or New York when she became a model? Because that happened. She broke up with Rory at one point.
I think they were living in London.
Was it London? Yeah, because they go back to London.
But it
London
wasn't- yeah.
happens. I'd forgotten what I was saying, basically. I lost my train of thought. Chibnall, Doctor Who, Brexit. Yeah. It all comes back to Brexit. Yes, there will be a Brexit joke. I predict it'll be like a 13th Doctor makes an Ledworth. Yeah, Ledworth, of course. They'll make an offhand joke about Brexit. She'll be like, oh, you humans, something Brexit.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
that'll be it.
Absolutely.
You know,
I'm not entirely sure.
with
that
your
will happen.
Netflixes and your Brexits
Yeah.
and
I
your...
think it's too controversial an issue myself, but
Well-
I think they can do a joke without it being controversial.
I think you're right. I think it is a controversial issue. I think they would... Doctor Who is just the show that'll do
There will
that,
be a
though.
joke, and then there'll be people in like fucking Lincolnshire and they'll be like, oh, that's a fucking outrage. Oh no,
Is that a
we just
Lincolnshire?
lost all the.
Oh, well, James is still listening. Oh, we've got down to 20%. Do you have a charger thing there that I can jack?
There's a phone.
There's a phone. Well, you just keep talking while I work this out.
aye.
Just take out your USB. Don't unplug that.
Alright.
Just I'll leave that in the wall all the
Switch
time.
USBs.
It's not very long, is the trouble.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I'll use the table, but right on the edge.
Let's have a look.
It will be fine.
Oh, it won't, it won't.
We can all gather round here.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I'll sit out here. You might want to come over. Yes.
It's actually not that much further away from me.
Yeah, you're probably fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay.
We'll see if the audio takes a dip.
To be fair.
Like I say, we've done like 10 minutes on will there be a Brexit joke.
Yeah.
I think there will.
I think they're well.
I don't.
You don't. So that's the ratio for tonight's podcast. We'll check every week.
Every week.
We'll scrutinise every line
How
they say.
Brexit every episode.
What was there a
What-
Brexit joke?
Well, again, we don't know because like the trailers haven't showed anything.
Yeah,
they haven't.
Like for a long time, we didn't think it was going to be. We thought it was going to be entirely Earth based because she was like falling out of the TARDIS. Also, David, you mentioned this on one of my first casts. I was sitting there talking about something, and then you told me about the PlayStation. What's it called?
PlayStation
The
Classic.
PlayStation Classic. You told me about that, and then you
Oh, yeah,
also.
that's a thing, isn't it?
That's a thing. But you also mentioned the fact, and I think we should have probably led with this because this is huge. But the Doctor has amnesia in the first episode.
It seems like she has some form of amnesia.
Some
yeah.
form of amnesia
That would
in
be interesting.
2018. Holy God!
Like she doesn't remember her name.
Yeah.
I think there's like a joke in one of those scenes that I was like, so it seems like you need a doctor or something.
yeah, like I'm not quite sure. Like. It was like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you write a script where one of the characters has amnesia and it's
I guess
2018.
it makes it like easier to write in terms of
Oh,
like
aye.
introducing new characters.
That
and
that's
stuff.
like once I'd calmed down when you told me about that. Once I'd stopped laughing for like 5 minutes, I had to think and I was like, it's probably the gimmick of the episode is she doesn't know who she is and
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
learn, and then she'll be the Doctor by the end of it. See if she still has amnesia. Multiple episodes into the show.
I think it'll be like one episode thing.
I hope and pray
I
it'll be
think,
one
I
episode.
think she will be like the Doctor by the end of the
Oh,
first
aye,
episode.
like she'll have like a Matt Smith
Yeah,
putting on his clothes,
absolutely.
telling
Yeah, that'll be it.
Like, if someone listens to this, they might think that we're not excited for more Doctor Who, and we are.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I'm
It's
really
the most
excited.
I've been about Who since like season 2 Matt Smith.
Really,
Yeah.
since
'Cause I was like I was.
you're not into
kinda-
Capaldi.
I was hopeful that Capaldi would be like another Tennant and be really good, and then he was just kind of pish. So I was like,
I want to
nah.
say that it's really
I like Capaldi.
it's really unfair to Capaldi, but I want to say that his best scene is in the movie where it's like, oh, it's all 12 Doctors. No, all 13, and then you just see his eyes.
I think
Like
that
I've never
is
been
the-
more hyped
yeah.
in my life, and like.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I was more. Actually, I'm wrong there. I was more hyped about the 50th because the 50th was great.
The 50th wasn't
that
bad.
was, that was
But,
great.
That was another peak.
But since
That was
then,
very
like,
good.
I was very hopeful for Capaldi,
Mhm.
and then I saw his first episode, and I was like,
His first
no.
episode is near terrible, I want to say.
Yeah, and I was like, that kind of killed it for me. I never bothered
I
watching
can't,
it.
is it called Deep Breath?
Deep Breath, yeah.
Barely
It's
remember
a
a single thing about it.
it's a problem because it was them going back to Victorian England with the Victorian England crew with the Sontaran, the Silurian and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's good, but I feel like they overused it and like
Yeah, they use that too much.
and it was a dinosaur that spontaneously combusted, and then it turned out it was the sister ship of the Madame de
I
Pompadour.
don't think I'm alone in my opinion about people not really liking Doctor Who episodes set in the past.
You
They're
are
not as good. Like they're not as good.
You're a bit of an extremist, but I kind of get you. I can't really read much fiction set in the past. Like it has to be a specific thing that I'm into.
I think
See
when
if it's
people
generic
want a time
past.
travel show, they want to see the future. Like they want a bit of the past.
You need to do the past,
Yeah.
but yeah. I think
Yeah.
Capaldi
And
had-
I think Doctor Who does more stuff set in the future than it does in the past. It does more stuff set in the future and the present than it does in the past.
the problem is, and it's been like this forever with Doctor
And all
Who.
the past episodes have some sort of like future science.
Oh yeah, that was Doctor Who. That's how Doctor Who
Yeah.
survived because they were doing like the historical things with Hartnell, and it was like kind of educational and stuff.
Yeah.
But as soon as you realised they could put like time travel or space stuff in those episodes, the ratings would shoot up
Yeah.
because like it's the '60s and we're here for space race.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but and like the pseudo historical became like a thing.
Yeah, and like history to them was fucking World War. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't.
But you got like I talked about this, and we should probably do a thing where we like, do our like what we would do if we made a season, so people could judge our like judgment of Chibnall by. My thing would probably be each episode is set in a different decade of the 20th century.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a good.
Like
that's a good
100%
point,
do
yeah.
your like going forward. Like see if she like say if you wanted to keep the thing she's lost the TARDIS or whatever, and just to get back to when she lost it. Just do like it's the 60s now, it's the 70s now, it's the 80s, and you could do so much with that.
Yeah.
And you could do like genre things, and you could do just like Doctor Who was on in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we can make a lot of fun of that.
Well, they did that in Remembrance of the Daleks to make that joke.
Yeah, like that was the 60s episode of
It's
Doctor
like,
Who.
it's also when they have the racism joke as well.
They do have that
it's
racism
like,
joke. It's more of a comment on racism than a
because-
joke,
because,
but
it's like Ace is in the living room of the B&B
mm,
after talking to like the Dalek agent sergeant's mum,
mm,
and it's like she like goes in the window and notices a wee sign that's like no colours, and I'm like. And I saw that as a wee boy, and I was like, "What's that?" And then I rewatched it recently, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And Ace is like, "Mrs. Smith, what the hell is this?"
because they just had like a lovely like Sunday dinner or Saturday dinner, I guess.
She notices that, and she's like drying her hair or something. She's got a big braid in,
Mm.
and she's like in like pajamas and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, and she notices that, and she walks out the room to like confront the mum who's ironing,
Mm.
and then
And then plot happens,
It
obviously.
pans to the telly, and it's like it's now time for the nation's favourite time traveller, Doctor, and then it cuts away.
Yeah, they do the fourth wall breaking one there. It's a
Yeah.
weird combo of like commentary on racism in the past and then like let's acknowledge that we're a TV show. It's one of
Yeah.
it's one of those wee breaks from reality. Like there was a Christmas episode that they just announced like in the middle of the Daleks master plan. They just talk about how it's a show. It's great.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the episodes that exists still from that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, they do a lot of fourth wall breaks, and like they do Red Nose Day every couple of years.
Red Nose Day is a good time. I feel like they've not done it for a while. Does Red Nose Day still exist again?
No,
Where people that watch TV in 2018.
It's definitely a thing, but it's not like
Children
an
in
event.
need.
No, Children in Need still definitely a thing.
I bet is it Children in Need or is it Red Rose Day? Red Rose Day this
No,
year.
it's every second year it's Red Nose Day. But
So
it's
is it
always Comic Relief.
It's always comic relief.
Yeah, but it's Comic Relief Red Nose Day every second
Is it
year. I think.
sports
Yeah,
relief?
it alternates between sports and comic relief. And
Right.
Red Nose Day is specifically like comic relief. It's not.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
what is this year? Because there'll be a Doctor Who thing because they're going for that.
I
If Brexit doesn't take us down before,
Well, I never saw any Red Noses last year.
feel
so
like
maybe
Red Nose Day is right around the time that Brexit's meant to happen. I feel like it's in March.
so it would have already happened.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Comic Relief's happened this year.
Build up.
I think
to-
there's some tweets about it. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess
See how much
what
attention
I
I
want
pay.
out of the new series is like I want new monsters,
Yep. New recognizable.
new
I
recognizable.
want
monsters.
toys of them.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
secure.
good with-
I
yeah.
want new recognizable monsters.
Yeah.
I want like more of a sort of ensemble cast. I
It
want,
seems like you're getting that.
yeah, I want like companions who aren't necessarily like.
15th of March.
Yeah.
literally.
Okay. Yeah.
Brexit Red Nose Day.
Brexit.
I want
Day.
companions who don't sort of dominate the plot in terms of like plot resolution. Like I want the Doctor to be solving the conundrums, not.
Well,
the
they normally
companions.
are, but it's usually the
Yeah.
companion that does the last one.
Yeah, I want the companions to help.
You want a balance.
Yeah, I want a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd hope like it looks from what I've seen about like I want like the visuals to look like from because when Doctor like Moffat who started the visuals took a big leap.
They
And
did.
It looks like they're doing the same again. So
I
I hope for
don't-
more of that.
On that note, I don't know how I feel because see, last season of Capaldi and last season of Moffat's Who, they moved to kind of a full model work kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I was well into.
Yeah, I really like
There was like outside of space stations that kind of looked like they filmed it in the 80s
Yeah,
on some
there's, like-
cardboard.
there's like the later Moffat series had a sort of different look to them, but it still looked really good. So.
Maybe a decline from actually good stuff,
Yeah, I
but
think
to
you're
more
right.
kind
Yeah,
of
I think
like
you could, I think you
artistic
could see
merit.
Capaldi, who had quite a big budget cut, but I think
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I think they sort of did good artistic work. That
Oh,
sort of
aye,
covered
they,
it
they
up.
covered it and like
Yeah.
they
yeah.
Well, like Matt Smith, who just looked really good because it clearly had a really big budget. And
in places it looks really good, and then in
Yeah.
other places it's still Doctor Who.
And to be fair, that TARDIS is fantastic.
Is that like his first one?
yeah,
second
his first one. No, I'm much for his first
Oh,
one. I
wow,
don't
I
really
that
like
like
the
the
fight.
second one.
second. I like the second one.
The second one's too grey and cold. It didn't really suit
No,
the
I like
character,
that.
in my
I
opinion.
can like that though.
But it was for
It was
Capaldi.
for Capaldi.
It was for Capaldi, but I prefer the blues to the oranges.
I like the grunge period. That's a joke that like never gets old for me. Like
Yeah, that TARDIS is great. That's my TARDIS.
the coral TARDIS with
Yeah.
like its
Coral,
organic
yeah.
tech and its
Yeah,
like
no, it's
yellowness.
the one I grew up with, and I love it. But no, so basically.
Have they shown the inside of the TARDIS yet? Is that
No.
they
is
haven't.
that going to be the big reveal?
Yeah,
No,
so
we'll be there.
your Who would be like.
I feel like I'm a child of all Who. Like I can't
Yeah.
sit down and pin what.
No, as in like what you want from news.
Oh, what my Who would be? I'd
My
say.
guess is you'll
Yeah,
see it
yeah,
at the
'cause-
end of
yeah,
the
'cause you
episode
want,
because
like-
I guess what will happen is the TARDIS will be fucking wrecked, and then by the time they get back to it, it'll have reset.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, because David,
Change the top theme.
You'd have like new monsters and stuff like that.
I think we're all vaguely similar. Like again,
I was kind of thinking. That
I think if you
it
read
had-
it in the show, you need new monsters. I
Yeah,
don't
no, it
Yeah.
definitely does. But at the same time, I would have that play in because, like you were saying, I think it definitely does need a kind of coherent plot. So
Mhm.
I'd have it kind of like time splitters, eh? So like
I love
there's an
bit time
overall-
splitters.
Yeah, there's an overall plot, and there's something happens right at the start, like the first like in Sheffield,
mhm.
and then goes to like wherever they are at the end. But it's like they're chasing
Uh-huh.
that person and then deal with a bunch of
Yeah,
problems in
so
between.
Yeah.
part of me hopes that it, like the sort of overarching plots have always been like always sort of like reveals itself. Like I kind of hope like they make it sort of like more clearer, like what their sort of overarching
start,
goal
yeah.
is.
Just to probably
Like,
have a good
so,
time.
like so you can see like over the course of the series they're like working towards something.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
that'd be good. Kind
I
of
think
showing
that-
in I want to be a master.
Yeah,
Kinda.
like
Not necessarily that,
That's-
but
I think that would sort of alleviate the like someone like oh this is too smart I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I think if it was a big chase through space and time.
the chase with Bradley
Yeah.
Walsh.
like say
I never
yeah.
thought that, but yeah. Now, if they had like some kind of like, oh, this person has done this, we need to like follow them. and
Specifically
figure out what they're
villains.
doing.
I hope like if we're talking like I kind of hope there's like an overarching villain maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Like a new villain.
Some villain does something right at the start. And
Yeah,
then, like,
yeah.
The end of the first episode, they're like, right, this person's here.
Oh,
Then they
this
go there
guy,
and
this
we've got a-
this person's fucking evil.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we go.
It doesn't have to be the master, but probably the master.
Yeah, no. So like, basically, they're following this person. Now, Doctor Who episodes ensues where that person is, but then they get away and then
Yeah,
another
yeah,
Doctor Who
that's
episode.
exactly
I feel like a
what
lot
I'm
of
getting
Big Finish's box sets are probably for you, Shanks. I feel like that's kind of a thing that's been
That
happening.
might actually be a thing, but at the same time, I have very little time for like media right now. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
media
uni
is
stuff,
troublesome. Like
and, like uni and
life will get in the way
We
of
should-
media.
we
there's
should
so much
say-
wrestling in a week that I have to get.
We should
Mm.
say part of the reason we're doing this podcast is to give us impetus to
watch Doctor Who, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had to catch up. Like you've still not seen all of Capaldi, have you?
No, I've seen bits of it.
I
saw
don't really want.
I
to
saw
see it.
Hmm.
I'm kind of okay with
Heaven Sent. That was fantastic.
Heaven Sent is a fantastic episode. Like that's probably
fantastic.
all you need to see of late.
Like if you
Capaldi.
watch one Capaldi episode, that is it. Like,
and then
it's
maybe watch season 10 after that.
yeah,
but
yeah. That Heaven Sent is sensationally good.
I can't
There's
believe Moffat
one
wrote
scene.
it.
No, I can see. There's one scene in particular that is just one of the best Doctor Who scenes ever.
One of the best kind of peaks, one of the
Yeah.
best kind of crescendos of an
Yeah.
episode. Like more like that, less
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Nice, like aimless. Just
An aim would be good.
I'm writing
yeah.
Matt like yeah.
I'm writing Matt Smith.
I feel like I want less like plot points that might develop into something when you think of the idea later.
Yeah, that was Moffat's problem.
Yeah.
He was always promising this would turn into
This is
something
what I
that
sort of
never
mean
did.
about like the sort of overarching plot that has like sort of like
Yeah,
a
that's
known
just all right,
unknown
like, we should make
quantity,
Yeah.
like what you're getting to, rather than just little sort of dangly bits that might lead somewhere
Yeah.
when he comes up with the idea. Like I want the idea to be thought of. It doesn't have to be like insanely smart. It just has to be like something that brings me back every week.
Something that's like like a concrete idea that you can like understand. Like it's not necessarily trying to be smart or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a broad thing
Yeah.
that I can't think of an example.
I'm not
but,
a TV writer,
yeah.
but as a TV
but you want like a
viewer,
hook.
I want
that-
a hook, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just saying it can't be. It
Can't just be
10
Doctor
monsters
Who.
a week.
Yeah, 10 monsters of the week. If it was 10 distinct monsters of the week,
Or
if it was a boss rush of 10 monsters.
Okay, if that was the gimmick, 10 new monsters.
Yeah.
That's it. I would be fucking well into that. But I don't think it's going to be that.
No. I don't know. I feel like. I want it to be more friendly to returning people. I feel like Moffat burnt a lot of bridges or wasn't up for having a lot of people back.
That wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
Like
it was kind of like.
You could tell
if you
from
don't like
what.
what Doctor Who is now,
You
you're
could,
not
you
getting
could
it.
tell, especially in the like sort of Capaldi era, you could tell it was like this is for Doctor Who fans.
yeah. Like
They weren't trying to welcome anyone with it.
no, but like what I mean is I kind of want see if you did an episode that wasn't necessarily about having John Barrowman in it, but the episode had John Barrowman in it. I'd be totally pro that.
Yeah,
see if you
John
did.
Barrow just came
I
back.
I doubt they'll do it because they want to be new and they want to be appealing to new things. But see if they did another multi-Doctor episode
Yeah.
this season. See if they went because Tennant's up for anything. Tennant's out there voicing Scrooge McDuck right now. I saw Tennant on Twitter today and he looked a bit
I
scraggly.
think Matt Smith will be too busy filming Star Wars.
No, but at the same time,
But how much of Star Wars will Matt Smith be in?
I don't know.
Like a second, or he'll be a monster or a voice.
yeah, well, like I don't know. Like at the same time, I think. I mean, if you get Eccleston back, that'd be good. That'd be an
Eccleston-
interesting duo.
It's not gonna happen.
Eccleston, you say that.
He's
He,
burned his bread. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see Eccleston coming back now more than
Oh,
ever somehow.
No,
Like it's been so long, and he's missed.
If they got McGann back.
McGann's up for it. Like
Oh, yeah.
McGann is probably there right now.
McGann and Whittaker, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
because like the logical thing to do is do like because Capaldi will turn up. Capaldi loves Doctor. He'll turn up and do anything.
Yeah.
Like the logical thing is to have the Doctor and the previous Doctor, and I would write that into the Doctor's contract. Like if I was the BBC, I'd like you do 3 seasons and then you come back for whatever
I
anniversary.
don't think the general. I think the general audience would sort of.
No, I feel the general audience would be super not for Capaldi, but see
Yeah.
if David Tennant was in it again. Or see if Matt
Oh
Smith,
yeah, obviously.
they'd be like,
yeah.
oh my god, did you see Doctor Who last night? Matt Smith was in the last 3 seconds
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
wearing a fez.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the internet would go mad for that.
Yeah,
And that's diminishing returns. You couldn't keep doing that, but do that once. Like and personally get McGann in there. Like just
get
like
that
don't even
there.
make it a big deal. It's just like it's a multi-Doctor episode. It's McGann.
Yeah.
People that know will go mental.
Get Sylvester McCoy in there because I love him.
I do love McCoy as well. I feel
That'd
like
be great.
I feel
Get up to the Holby City set and be like fucking
Oh,
McGann.
McCoy.
Get down the road.
McGann.
Cardiff.
No, it's
Get along the
It's
M4.
like, the best thing Sylvester McCoy did, apart from Doctor Who, was that one episode of Still Game.
Was he in Still Game?
Yeah,
I
it was
didn't know
basically
that.
just like it was basically just like old man, and it was great.
Yeah, he is an old man now. He's in. He was
It was
in an
only
episode
coming with Doctor Who.
of a Netflix thing currently. People
Yeah,
know who
I
McGann
know.
is. Not McGann. McCoy. Yeah, that's probably what I'd do. I'd have like occasional like Doctor Who was a show that had characters in it, like John Barrowman and Paul McGann and like the Daleks. And I'm kind of excited for Christmas if they're doing a Dalek episode and if they're
Yeah,
just
I
going
guess
to
we'll
box it off at Christmas
I want a
and
big Santa Dalek.
a big
red
Santa.
and white Dalek.
Yeah.
There's stuff you can do there.
Stuff you
Like
can do. I like novelty
I like-
Daleks.
yeah,
If the Doctor comes up and like blocks the eye stalk with like a Santa hat, that'd be great.
I want
I'd be very cool with
another.
that.
I want a multi-Doctor, or not multi-Doctor, a multi-villain thing where Daleks versus Cybermen again, but not Doomsday and Army of Ghosts.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
those
Maybe
episodes.
slightly smaller scale.
Slightly smaller scale, maybe just have a Dalek versus a Cyberman,
Yeah.
show the benefits of both.
Have like some vaguely like museum type stuff, and then just like have like oh no the Dalek and the
No,
Santa
I kind of
Dalek.
dislike that. That's a Moffat suit.
Some like gladiator thing would be great.
I mean, like a Thunderdome would be
Yeah.
a cracking
And then,
addition
like,
to
the
Doctor Who.
champion is like a Dalek.
Yeah, like, or just have like it's the Daleks versus some other named monster, and then be like, the Daleks win because they're the Daleks. Like,
Yeah, of course they do.
Like-
the Daleks, aren't they?
do that, but in a watchable format for 45. Is it 45 minutes? Did they say that it was longer?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I feel like they said it was longer.
I can
No, it's-
check
it's-
the
it's a
schedule for
Mm,
next because
mm.
presumably that's
Yeah,
Is
next
a,
one.
is a standard Who episode not out?
No, it's 45
Yeah, it's
minutes.
45
People have been
minutes.
complaining for years because it doesn't give enough time for the plot to breathe and it's all very rushed. Some
Certain,
of them.
certain episodes have been an hour, like premieres and stuff.
Yeah, like-
Like with the Tenant specials, they're like an hour and a half.
The
They were an
specials
hour?
yeah.
Yeah. they were very tired at that point. Like they had made like 5 seasons of a program and they didn't want to make those episodes, but they had to.
They did do the
And
Wars of Mars though.
The Wars of Mars is a fantastic episode. I disagree with the ending entirely, but everything else in that.
Yeah,
episode.
Time Lord Victorious is a bit pesky.
The Doctor is a god of time. Like he just is.
I mean,
and
yeah,
like
but
if
at
he
the same
wants to
time,
save
when
a
he
certain
indulges in
person,
that, like-
that's fine. And I know he learned his lesson, and I know it's part of character growth and everything. But like to say that he's not a literal god of time is wrong.
The premiere at least is an hour.
The premiere, well,
Straight after Country File.
Country File. Might watch some Country File,
No,
lads.
could you
You're
imagine
gonna
that?
have
Just
to.
like, it's like, oh, we're having a Doctor Who viewing party, just fire on BBC One. And then it's just like Country File, just the ending credits. then
Well,
just like-
yeah, that'll be it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Your home AI is fired up because you've said put on BBC One. The dangers of podcasting.
I know.
The licensing people will be ruined.
I was watching Stream the Day,
Uh-huh.
and basically they had like for every donation they had like a text to speech thing so you could say whatever,
Alright.
and they had Amazon Echo in the room, right?
Mm.
And basically people would be like, Alexa, play such and such.
Oh no, you've said the name. It's
Why-
lit.
why-
Such and such. Explicit isn't included with Prime but is available with Amazon Music Unlimited. Would
Does
you like to
anyone-
learn more?
This is a professional podcast where we do professional things.
I'm sorry.
Does anyone have anything else to say about
Okay.
Doctor Who before we finish up?
No, I feel we are wrapping up. I'm cautiously optimistic about everything that's to follow.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
cautiously
that's the-
optimistic as well.
Announcing.
Oh, shut up, man.
I think it's a testament to how. No, I feel we are wrapping up.
Oh
So Alexa just recorded us there
Yeah.
and played it back. Yeah, professionals, give us money on Patreon because we're
We'll give you money. It's your
we're
Patreon.
that pro that we
Yeah.
deserve it.
We'll be back next week with episode
might-
1.
Episode
I
one.
might not I might have to phone
The
you.
Women Who Fell to Air.
Yeah, I forgot that's what it was called.
I'm definitely going to watch it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
It's
you-
like, it's a Sunday, so I'll have time.
You're away back to the schools, aren't you,
Aye,
Shanks?
back to the bug.
We're back to the Edinburgh.
I think it's on at 6:45.
6:45
BBC One
Sunday.
night.
I mean, I'll definitely live tweet it with you, but
Yeah,
I'm not
if-
entirely sure I'll be.
You can be on the other side. You can be calling in.
This is the thing, we're looking into tech where we can
we're
do calling
looking
in,
into.
I'll do
So,
that. I'll totally do
like
it.
Google
Yeah.
Hangouts podcast.
Yeah,
please.
no, I'm up for that. Like, I'm definitely for that.
Yeah, Doctor Who is a good show. The Wombs won't ruin it, but
There
I-
you did it. You finally
I
got
dropped the
through.
Womb Bomb. I'm looking forward. Well, I say looking forward. I hate what's going to happen immediately after that episode airs on YouTube. Like it's
And
going to be
Reddit
wall to wall
and-
content. Like Doctor Who ruined. Like it wasn't that great an episode, so clearly it was the Wombs that killed it.
I feel like there'll be a reaction in two ways. That will be like, oh, this is like it's so modern and
Yeah.
representative, and the other half will be,
This is
oh, women,
It's clearly they've ruined this male thing that was always about males.
PC Doctor Who. What about the little boys who need a hero to look up to stop them from going on the streets
not
and
like-
drinking alcohol?
It's not
What about the boys?
The boys are out there, frosty jack in hand.
It's not even the thing that's like. It's not as if like boys couldn't enjoy, I don't know, like She-Ra, because that's actually a thing.
Let's not get into She-Ra. That's a battle I'm not willing to fight tonight. Like, I'm sure the She-Ra cartoon is fine.
Oh,
I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Like,
But I can't be drawn on it.
Oh, think about it. I'm the age that like this happening.
Mm.
Does that mind like having pals in primary school who are like, oh, Kim Possible's great. And it's like, well, they're
Christ.
not.
Kim Possible, eh? Do you know that they're making a live action Kim Possible?
I've heard that, and
Mm.
I'm very against it. I don't think that's going to be good, but we'll see.
I just want to watch good Doctor Who and have a good
Fingers
time.
crossed we'll be able to do that.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. We're going to play the outro, so everyone brace for some very loud spiking audio.
Oh, fantastic.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you next week.